Hey everyone, Wade McWayne here, DraftKings, NFL in London, joined by David Whitney, Will Gavin, and Ryan Call. Doing some match previews. We're talking week 2, and we're getting into another big AFC battle. Two teams that used to matter when one of the quarterbacks played for both the teams, and now he's dead to us. We're talking Indianapolis versus Denver. Denver shocking Carolina, showing their big defense, and Indianapolis showing scenes of ineptitude all over the place. Will, let's start with you again. Will, how do you see this? Denver came out for real. Trevor Siemian showed signs of being a really good quarterback.
Yeah, truly, Trevor Siemian, so impressive week 1. And we talked about poise with Jimmy Garoppolo, what poise he showed. Made those 2 interceptions. I think at least one of them you don't put on him anyway. The blown screenplay was hardly his fault. But after both of those, picked himself back up, went out there, scored points. Now, everyone keeps talking about the Denver defense, but they were up by a good score, and they came back into it. So I still think there's going to be points in this game. I think Indianapolis, we saw they can put up points on a bad team last week.
Yep.
I still think Andrew Luck is good enough to put up points on a good team, but I think eventually that Denver defense will be too much for him, and they'll have enough to take it.
Let's go, David. Obviously, Indianapolis has loads of injuries, and Denver is starting to find themselves with a great defense and a great running game, great passing game. How do you see this one going?
Even if the Colts didn't have a lot of injuries, apart from Andrew Luck, who is a demigod, but apart from him, they are a vacuum of talent. Their offense is a black hole of anything exciting, and Andrew Luck cannot do it all on its own. And yeah, Denver may not have quite the defense that they showed in the Super Bowl last year, but they are going to shut these boys down. Andrew Luck can't do it all on his own.
See, I'm going the actually opposite.
All right, here we go.
Because I
That's
actually
what I like.
believe in Andrew
Controversy.
Luck. I believe in Andrew Luck. I do not believe in Trevor Siemian. I don't think he had a great game. I think he had an average at best game that people decided he threw 2 interceptions, didn't do a lot. He had C.J. Anderson did a lot of the touchdowns. I think if you're going to go quarterback versus quarterback, I'm going to go Andrew Luck versus Trevor Siemian every day of the week. I think they have the better offense. The other defense struggles, but I'm not worried about Trevor Siemian beating me. That's the difference. And I think my team can put up more points than your team. And I'm going to go with Andrew Luck because I feel like a lot of people are now talking to him that even though puts up the stats, he doesn't get the wins. And I think his first 3 years, he was putting up the wins. And he had bad luck. Andrew Luck won that game last week. His defense let him down, right? But his defense was Matt Stafford's a better quarterback than Trevor Siemian is. And I think that Andrew Luck is going to actually lead his team to victory. This is going to be a big win. It's like a statement win for his team to show them Andrew Luck's to be like, I'm back. I am one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, so this is his day.
That Colts defense have 0 up front.
Yeah.
No pass rush. They can't stop the run.
I don't even care.
You don't need Trevor Siemian to play well when C.J. Anderson goes for 200 all-purpose yards,
And he's gonna
which
have
he very easily could do this
And when
week.
he has
could,
enough
of course.
time to make a sandwich before deciding who to pass the ball to.
Yeah. Before taking a cut, C.J. Anderson is
No, and I
literally
think
gonna be able
a lot of people realize that it was Denver playing at home after the Super Bowl, raising the banner.
Sure.
The trophy comes out with Peyton Manning, the crowd, the home field advantage. Everything was set for them to win that game. Okay, so let's not
And
pretend.
look at their opposition
And
that they had on that
they
day.
were not amazing. They played well, to be honest with you. They played great. The defense is still great. They're going to be great, but Andrew Luck is going to be able to, I think, to find. He's got the weapons. The running game isn't great, but I think the defense on Indianapolis is going to play better because, to be honest with you, they can't play worse.
What weapons are you referring to?
They got Moncrief, they got T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah, I've got to say, that's the one thing I disagreed with you on.
And
I
Jack
think they've
Doyle,
got,
who came
I
out
think
of
they
nowhere.
got an umbrella of talent.
Jack Doyle, the
the
name
thing
of
I have
a
a problem with
cowboy.
is C.J. Anderson, who I don't see Indianapolis being able to stop C.J. Anderson in this one. He is going to gash him for what he did last week.
But that's the thing about C.J. Anderson. Everyone says that, but this is not the C.J. Anderson who every week does this. This is the C.J. Anderson who once every 6 weeks.
He did that against Carolina. He did it against Carolina.
He did do it against Carolina.
You look at the consistency for C.J. Anderson.
But I think they're going to step on, because nobody came into this game the first game saying we need to stop C.J. Anderson.
No.
But now that's why I think he was able to get away. Now if you stop C.J. Anderson, let's put it in Trevor Siemian's hands and see what he can do. And I don't think he'll be able to do it.
You look at the consistency on C.J. Anderson. The last 2 seasons, he started poorly both years, grew into the role, and last 8 weeks last year, C.J. Anderson was the best running back, not just in the AFC, in the entire of the NFL. He's picked up where he left off in week 1. If he can show consistency beyond that, he's going to shock a lot of people this season and be right up there at the end of the year.
And the other factor that I have in this is if Indianapolis can keep this close, the other factor is luck. And he will, unlike I think a Siemian, he will rally. And if they can still within striking distance, Luck is a guy that can just put it down the field, and he's the guy that will call it and get the huddle. Let's go for game predictions, guys. What are you calling, David?
I reckon Denver's going to win by at least 2 scores. So I reckon Colts 14, Denver 32.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to say the Colts win, and I'm going to say it's on an Andrew Luck fourth quarter comeback on the last drive of the game. I'm saying it's about I'd say about 27-21 Colts.
Okay.
I kind of feel like I've gone all high scoring so far, but I'm going to do it again. Denver 24, Colts 21, but that's Colts coming back with 2 late garbage time scores. I think Denver run over them early on.
Well, I've got it pretty much the same as you will. I've got it 24-19 for Denver. I think Colts coming back. I think Denver building a big lead, and Indianapolis coming back to try to make it respectable. How do you play? You can get involved. We play along with DraftKings. If you go to DraftKings/Hippo, you can play in our contest this weekend. That's DraftKings.co.uk/Hippo. Play along. You can win big, including 2 tickets to Indianapolis versus Jacksonville. What a game. Welcome to the big time.